watching. Extremely unique and extremely great to see. As it shows us how much a young and dedicated team like this, with the great support of the organization, can actually do. AVANGAR used to be the top 30, now they need to show us if they're still a team worth top 30. And as we see, it seems like they watched the one or the other demo. Main focus towards the A side. KrizzeN and Co clear out main and realize there's nothing, first of all, towards that direction. So it's gotta be AVANGAR. I think there's a bit of a highway aggression coming in. qikert should possibly hear that there. KrizzeN hits the first one to byali. KrizzeN doesn't stop there. On to MICHU and qikert. KrizzeN are taking that A site into their own hands. Not giving that away. Snax though with a good double. Was able to open up a few doors right here. Snax though with no armor. Aimpoint is going to be massive on that guy. The bomb is already in favor of qikert and position seems to be known. qikert also no armor, makes him logically an easy target. Snax trying to fake out a few noises. Or keep their focus back directly towards the bomb. And all the fakes, all the mind games, it didn't work out for Snax. He didn't find himself fragged during the meantime. We're going to see Snax is really able to do it. The steps have been heard. Picked up the bomb. And now he's just running away towards the B side. He's going full throttle towards this. And he unbelievably makes the move. And there's a new vent sound, isn't it? That's also new to me. Either way, the bomb's going down, not in time. Buster only needs to stay alive. And that is round number 1 for AVANGAR. Bit of a surprise ending. Felt like that didn't go according to plan there in the end, but the bomb being picked up so late. Smart move in the end, but it wasn't enough. So, start for AVANGAR. It's looking good. On the right track. Initial situation couldn't be better, basically. Snax like, not going through this, byali. I know you don't see me through smoke, but I'm definitely shaking my head. Jame, the pashaBiceps just on his head. Rips off his head though, and there's Jame with not only 1, 2, or 3, but not with a 4th. You know, the only last individual back on the Virtus.pro site. With Deagle in hand, the frack movie shots aren't there. AVANGAR securing themselves the second as expected. Virtus.pro going into that eco as they were not able to get that bomb plant in round number 1. As they're all coming out here, Jame doesn't see a thing. dimasick needs to clear it out. The Glock long range distance really makes it work. And then in the end, that was a fast round, as expected. Virtus.pro, now this is the time to start. Repeat the dominance. I mean, on the side right here, this is the amount of rounds AVANGAR was able to get on train. Map number 2 we had. It's hard to imagine that there will be the only few rounds they're getting themselves, as though now Snax and Co. mainly focusing towards the site of A. There, MICHU realized there's a close range Jame. He just easily gets the frag. The MP9 has not a single bit of a chance. dimasick though, as he eats a few 7.62 bullets, still able to survive this. While jumping, taken out by byali. Only 2 alive here. Virtus.pro pinning down the A side in their favor. Now KrizzeN and Buster. Going to stick to their actual plan. Keep the guns in hand. Though they have the money, basically. They'll have a decent rebuy after that round. It's still doesn't seem to be in their interest to go for the aggression against 4 Polish players who are all well equipped and well armed. byali sneaking there towards CT. Can't find himself back onto Buster, but pasha is a little bit more aware. Does get the spray onto KrizzeN, nearly. 16 HP left. That means Neo and Snax might consider to do it, but I can hardly imagine they'll figure a way in the end. KrizzeN stays hidden, no reason to peek. Ouch, and there Neo rips off at least one head. So the single M4 stays in the game by KrizzeN. The other one, all need to rebuy. So that should be the round where we see Virtus.pro getting stopped by AVANGAR. Otherwise, there's a good bunch and a good bit of aggression and a good bit of continuous aggression, a good bit of momentum Virtus.pro is able to build up. As Jame and Co are right now trying to hold that control. The double op setup in place. dimasick up onto Shroud. And only 60 seconds here left for Virtus.pro. A lot of time that has passed us already. Jame should have probably seen that there's one already towards the middle. The one jumped out. pasha seems to be fairly aware that there might be a hairy situation coming up. qikert back, caught up in the corner. Whilst that is the case, the mid aggression and the mid control works. byali! Oh no, that was the own team kill. That should have never happened. KrizzeN though now finds himself Snaxing in the process. Hopefully not another team kill happens. KrizzeN finds a great flashbang onto Papa himself. And there Jame onto one. Is the op to be stopped is the question. As byali has the right kind of angle for it. Neo comes in from behind. Jame whips his shot, and now it gets a little bit more trickier. But there, a double kill comes in, and AVANGAR secure number 4. That team kill, though, as it couldn't have ended any kind of sadder. More sad. I think the right word. More sad, sadder. Does it even matter? No, it doesn't. And such a team kill sometimes give the opponent a better opportunity to take the round. We've just seen that KrizzeN down to 19 though. Now it's time to hide. And Snax just casually jumps down, picks himself that kill. qikert says, nuh-uh, you're not picking up more than that one. As the M4 towards sandbags is being picked by pasha. 4 versus 3 can still go in the favor of Virtus.pro as they now just as beat the 50 CZs and had 1 rifle. To make it kind of fast, or at least play out the opponents in some way, but AVANGAR don't seem to be too nervous right now. byali gonna peek in the middle in just a second, while Neo is up on the top. As well coordinate, but the P250 is not the best tool to win long-range duels. Jame, that was your shot. He at least has the information, but down to 32, down to 36, down to 27, respectively, each player there. Besides Buster and AVANGAR is not looking that great HP-wise. Sneaky Neo is interested. Oh, and hitting the right timing. His head is not being spotted. And Buster has the right kind of idea to it and then rips off the head of Neo. The tension there was just insane. Wrong time to get loose off that crouch bind. byali on his own with 20 seconds. $50 back in his pocket. Buying himself, I don't know, maybe some way he should have named from that, but first of all, are they ripping off another hat? Buster to be taken out. 8 seconds to do so. There he does do it. The CT's losing money, and that's just not a bit. The bunch they're losing. Now it's only 1 qikert alive. Thankfully enough, he was just not standing there behind his teammates. Either way, 5-1, AVANGAR starting off good on the CT side right here. As it goes, qikert gets his head ripped off together with dimasick. As a union, they die. With 2 players less on the board, Virtus.pro with that fairly mixed buy. Need to try what they can do with just that, as the ground Snax is taken. Be a good bunch. There it goes, Snax turning around, getting around the smoke, getting himself KrizzeN. Flashbang working out, Jame needs to do the no scope, gets denied. Only Buster alive. That will be the second one for Virtus.pro. A little bit early. AVANGAR's getting stopped here from their streak. As their Buster hits his first. Maybe another one to come in. Nope, denied. Flashbang does the job. MICHU to pick up Buster. 5-2 it will be. So, the side of Byali and co. Economically not so strong, but still good enough. And there will be the buy of all the rifles you're actually looking for. ZZ. I think we all can hate this gun for a very good reason. With that being said, MICHU taken out in a fairly okay situation. 1 player less there for Virtus.pro. The ZZs now to be used to regain control for AVANGAR. As the gun, unfortunately, for the KrizzeN Russian side dropped in the wrong direction. pasha doesn't have the shot on Jame, and he's fairly cautious right now, not interested in getting his head or chest ripped apart by that high caliber bullet. That kind of weaponry of AVANGAR, you could categorize it as weak, but as we know, those ZZs, they're a little bit like a Kinder Surprise, and you know, and either way, you find yourself a great toy to play with throughout the entire time, or it's just annoying. It depends on which end you are. But now with KrizzeN and the rest of the team having the kind of idea that this will be the aggression towards the site of B, Byali finds themselves Jame and least. Byali, they're taken out in the process. And the man advantage still exists for AVANGAR. You know where Snax stands. Snax doesn't have the best of a positioning right now. There he comes, finds himself one, is fast enough to right to the over qikert with just that bit of HP, still securing himself that frack. And that just basically means get that AWP, get a safe space for yourself. Maybe just go in the truck and drive it forward a little. But as it unfortunately it's not possible. At 5-3, bringing us down to an AVANGAR with the classic ZZ 1-2, the Deagle, the P250, and Jame is AWP. I've said AWP, Jame, to show us what you're able to do with that. As that portentous thunder should be coming from the barrel, make the Virtus.pro's guys as scared as possible. And that would be now the right opportunity to kill 1 or 2 to give AVANGAR teammates who are right now just running around with pistols an AK or something similar. Neo has already taken that control towards the men's section. Jame is not quite sure if he should still hold that angle, as it could get dangerous. Talking about it, Neo finds him. The smoke not 100%
perfect. qikert thinks
thinks through how he should position himself there. Snax finds himself qikert. Neo gets himself Dima as well. And so KrizzeN and Buster back on the B site might tend to keep those guns in their hands. And the thing you have to say, though, and that's actually kind of interesting to see, AVANGAR recently tried themselves out with Ramzik, and if you just, last time, a few weeks back, joined those guys from AVANGAR playing, you saw Ramzik playing back then, who's from Tengri and also from Kazakhstan, by the way. But they decided after a trial month with the young Opper that they couldn't just make the system work together with him. They got themselves Jame back. So now it's not a full Kazakhstan team anymore. Or Kazakhs, one Russian. Virtus.pro, they found the ignition, and with that ignition, they're finding themselves more and more successful rounds. 5-4, it still is in favor of AVANGAR. We have the pause being called. qikert rather going for the attack here real quick as they need to talk through how they want to continue. It looks a little bit sinister right now. Virtus.pro got themselves a little bit of control. And with the control, they found themselves a good bunch of rounds so far, and now it needs to be that CT side working again, going to its maximum. Trying to achieve something along the lines of 9 rounds. Because when we technically take a look on how good each team is on cash, it is once more AVANGAR actually being extremely good, but quite okay good. Because the thing is, 9 times Virtus.pro has played this map in the last 3 months. They only won it 5 out of 9 times. AVANGAR played this map 14 times and won it 9 out of 14 times. The difference very often is, statistically, it looks great for AVANGAR, but the kind of quality of the opponents is the kind of thing. Just to remind you though, just recently in April, G2 has beaten Virtus.pro in this map 16-2. AVANGAR can't achieve that scoreline anymore, obviously. Now with an op going first into Pasha, who's been just nuts during train. Gives him a bit of information. No op peeking towards him. The smoke's gonna pop. dimasick there onto Shroud. He's going to be spotted by MICHU. He takes him out in the end. qikert needs to rule this out. No chance. As the AK from Byali does the job, and that means KrizzeN and Buster keep the $4,750 rifles in their hand. Virtus.pro secures the tie. As we had AVANGAR going 5-1. The veterans from Poland are back on the track and back on the in the right direction. Secure a victory. We saw AVANGAR just dominate on Mirage. We saw Virtus.pro just dominate on Train. Cash is like the thing in between so far. There, though, at least Buster, as well as KrizzeN, find themselves 2 frags. Going for a third. Pasha's the only one alive, and when we take a look at it, the wallets, yeah, of the T side, it's fairly good. There's nothing to really worry about, as they got themselves a great economic buffer there. There, Buster has the right kind of idea of the players coming towards him. A good bunch of Polish guys are now interested in directly going on a site. Buster starts off with the first. Defense worked partially. There's a little bit of a shoulder coming through, and Buster losing his life fast against Byali. The op seems a little bit nervous right here, whilst Virtus.pro keep it all together fairly well. qikert and his CZ not being as accurate as it would like to be. Jame running away from the action whilst Byali rips his head off. And there's the lead for Virtus.pro. There's the Polish site finally going on first place. As we just saw AVANGAR, when you take a look at it real quick, going for that 5-1, fairly easy and fairly straight. Virtus.pro right now, bringing it back. Technically speaking, BP can still achieve double digits if they would like to. If they're able to shut down AVANGAR right at this point, they'll pretty much break the economy off the CT site. byali down. First frag found, Jame on the refrag, KrizzeN getting Snax in the process, what we have not been seen. And just in the first 20 seconds, 3 players laying already in a coffin. He just seems to have the kind of idea about qikert though. There, he tries to push through. qikert can stay alive for a good bunch of time. Neo takes him down there in the end. What looked like a collateral, wasn't it in the end, but Jame might just close it out together with KrizzeN and co. As their pasha rips off another head. Somehow they need to converge together on the site of A, but it's now only down to pasha. The man who's done an insane job on train needs to be the biceps clutch king. When we take a look, he goes full Usain Bolt towards the B site, not to be stopped. Buster hears the steps immediately. Is he fast enough for the vent room though? It's open up. pasha has seen him. She looks in the wrong direction though, and then gets fought by Buster. 6-6 it is. Virtus.pro. They cannot extend their lead. They cannot break the economy of AVANGAR there in the end. And as they found themselves finally a connection round back into it. It's right now time. Get it back there. Snax and byali find though too. Quite painful it is. qikert though finally getting onto byali. The mid control so easily taken by Virtus.pro with ease. Every single CT is found. Buster now coming in from behind. pasha has not the slightest clue right here. His head being clean cut. Nearly surgical. And as a surgical spray, not like on a clean cut level, but still allows the players of AVANGAR to have the bomb in their favor and actually laying quite good there. KrizzeN does the peek. Buster finds simultaneously Snax. And we have to remember, that was a 4-2-2. Virtus.pro in that round number 13 had twice as many players directly here on the battlefield and somehow lost that one. Now that 76 is right now coming in. I'm not quite sure if AVANGAR will now be able to pick up. No, I just wanted to say they are able to pick up that 9-6, but with that kind of aggression and re-aggression. It's Jame and co. Still having good bit of information with that. byali doesn't eat up that grenade. Main is though secured, and so AVANGAR is leaning more towards the B side with the 4 players they have left. Virtus.pro. Leaning now towards the B side they are. You know, not having a bit of utility, still ripping off. Get there in the end. Looked like could have been clean headshot. Isn't the case. Buster's patience is there. Buster finds himself 2 frags and 1 more to get onto byali, who has carrying around the bomb right now. Moving on to the A site as Jame left it open for the moment, but his head, he keeps it safe. byali on his own needs to clutch it out. 30 seconds he has left, and that it's a tick-tock is getting louder. The approach onto truck is beautiful. Jame though able to find byali there in the end. He plays around. And the dance they have done together, it works out for Jame. He's the dominant part here. 8-6, and AVANGAR got themselves the half already secured with the opportunity to take a free round advantage from this. As we have seen from Virtus.pro, could usually expect at that point where they really got themselves that 6-5 scoreline and looked like they continuously found a way to disable that kind of defense of AVANGAR, that they could have went further than that. Now AVANGAR somehow flicked the switch, found their way back into this. The mid boost is not being punished. pasha though being punished for being so fast. byali in the end able to use this set wisely. A lot of ground Snax has already taken. It seems like the B side is fairly vulnerable right now. But KrizzeN suddenly realizing, oh, there's someone to my left, I have to take him down. Only MICHU alive with the M4. It seems at that point in time, the Polish player... Everyone is playing checkers, he's playing chess. I'm quite sure they all know. And he's already here back in CT, so that 3D chess game didn't work out for MICHU in the end. There's one to come, now they all know. 45 seconds to take them out on your own, KrizzeN. Does it though in the end, 9-6. That means AVANGAR can use that to their advantage quite massively. And if you're not kind of familiar with the system here used at the Adrenaline Cyber League, it is actually quite simple. Best of 3 single elimination. This is the map where either AVANGAR or Virtus.pro getting kicked out of this tournament. Pro trying to take a lot of information right now with the B aggression. They're not finding themselves a single player. There's no one also Virtus.pro directly on that site. And whilst that is the case, byali doesn't stop ripping off heads. KrizzeN on dimasick. 42 of the victims. They're doing it right, finding himself MICHU. byali still onto highway together with his teammate pashaBiceps. And as they're coming from every single corner and every single site, James running out of options. He has to clutch his on his own. Neo is just around the corner, dinks him down. Unfortunately, through the wall. And as we're having it with through the wall, a strong, independent woman Neo is. Strong, independent woman who can shoot through metal doors, rip off Kazakhstan heads, and then spray a sticker. Spray a sticker? No, that's not the right way to say it. Spray a spray. But that sounds horrible. Spray a spray. English. What a weird language. Either way. On number 17 and Virtus.pro. That round 1. Getting closer. Securing tie fairly soon in the second half. AVANGAR, they're not able to allow themselves play any kind of dilettante in this. Otherwise, it might end fairly abysmal. byali coming down. byali finding his frag. KrizzeN not reacting in time. That gives the Polish player the opportunity to run away with it. Still having a buster, and he's ripping off the head of Snax. That just means the man advantage is suddenly existent for AVANGAR. Cautious about MICHU in middle, and Jame, you somehow need to help your teammate here. With 1 HP, he's just surviving. And that is giving Virtus.pro suddenly a man disadvantage, the man advantage. Turning it around. MICHU. This is Polish special agent hiding in the corner. With 1 HP, does he find himself 1? He does, the mage should deal it. And it dealt enough damage, but the FAMAS did it in the end. But byali. There it goes with 9-8. Everything going according to plan for Virtus.pro CT site. As now there comes a nade play. Out there for qikert and co. It's a little odd. Jame doesn't want to take that aggressive AWP, it seems to be the case. As he's buying himself down to 1.5k. And no one is actually able to afford it. There comes, though, dimasick finding himself pashaBiceps. That nade goes deep, doesn't deal any damage onto qikert. That 1 frag found. Virtus.pro needs to be kind of cautious about it. As I'm saying it though, Neo with the long range advantage, of course. Boost didn't work, getting himself KrizzeN, and then the MP9 strikes from behind with 1, 2, and 3. No, actually not happening. Still, second frag to be found in the weakest buy AVANGAR had so far during this T site. Which is technically true if we not consider the pistol round, but who considers the pistol round anyway? Buster and Jame. Running out of options. Not out of time, though. There's no option, though, that Jame goes out of the door. And whilst it is happening, byali finds himself Buster. Jame on his own. 8 HP. No chance. byali takes him out. 9-9. That was a 3-round advantage when we got ourselves into that half. And right now, it's back. Both teams found 9 rounds. And this is the buy for AVANGAR. Those are those AKs now coming in. You gotta make it work with that. Those 7.62mm rifles now need to work. And the full aggression just comes in. qikert finds himself the first and pasha. qikert is going for the second with his byali. And qikert is going for the third onto MICHU. But Neo is not to be stopped behind truck. He takes down the extremely lethal Kazakhstan player. And so only 2 can do it. There's a down to 26. Jame up into 92. Plant is happening either way. KrizzeN goes out. And Neo is there on the quads to secure it there for Virtus.pro. The double digits are there on the board. And AVANGAR, with not even the plant, have a bit of a problem regarding their economy as the wallets are fairly slim right now for the aggressing team. As it goes, MICHU finds KrizzeN. Snax saw already 2 players just passing by. As it goes, qikert gets Neo as well. This is back and forth once more. So it's getting a little bit tricky. You don't want Virtus.pro running away with this. After this round, there should be, besides qikert, a decent buy coming in again. So allowing Virtus.pro to number 11 is okay. Not the best thing, but okay. With qikert, though, he's not too interested, giving them too much kind of ground to play with. Buster he saw the head of Snax before he even turned around, but couldn't rip it off in the end. And with that non-plugged off head, it's qikert on his own against Free. Tries to take down pasha, is able to do so. 7 HP left, knows where MICHU is, but a body shot rules it out. 2 rounds difference. The buy is gonna come in from AVANGAR. Now it matters so much. This round number 21 will show us if Virtus.pro can fortify and increase their economic situation to a better state, or if AVANGAR will find kind of formula to success. Take down the Polish players. pasha is already close towards minute. It's Wolving. Very good there in that situation, but the main game from Virtus.pro is doing a good job right now. qikert down to 71, Jame 59, and Buster already onto 65. Taking their time with the boost. Nothing to find at that point in time. Virtus.pro are playing it defensive. Not interested in taking any ground too early on. It's time for AVANGAR to put up some resistance. He seems kind of bored. Once that finally players are pushing towards him, I'm quite sure if he's going to be happy with that once the wave of Kazakhstan Russians are coming towards him. As it goes, there's the first flashbang. qikert is smarter than byali and MICHU. Both are getting taken out by the Kazakhstan player, who's right now already on the free frags. The second half is working good for qikert, whilst James AWP seems to be kind of weak, and Buster coming in from behind, and he's taking out Neo. Virtus.pro are only down to Snax. And this time, he doesn't get the big apple. It's him taken out 10-11. And Virtus.pro economy, it's quite shattered there. The question is, do they eco or do they rather double force? Because they're down to the minimum losing bonus at that point in time. There comes the force. Can they make that work? Chris there finds himself a double. You as well as MICHU taking down that mid control. Early established. And if I said there's the force coming through, I've said it horribly wrong. I was tricked by Virtus.pro. They just tricked me, buying the P250 and that deagle. And I made a click in my head and it just looked like, okay, sure. They're going to force that through. In this case, that trick doesn't work once I double check. And Jame will then have a well-equipped Virtus.pro ahead of them to follow up round. First of all, let's see what the P250 and deagle can still do. So qikert gets himself Snax as well. 8 bullets left in that magazine. Byali tries to make the way clear towards the B side, will realize there's no one around. There the deagle doesn't do it in the end. That just means only pasha alive. With a flashbang and a USPS, you can try to do whatever you like. Probably not much he's able to get with it either way. No player down from AVANGAR, so no gun to get. Anyway, staying back in the corner. Just waiting it out. Talking a little bit maybe about the upcoming rounds, because then it would be 11-11. I'm talking about it though. There it goes. pasha taken out. And this is going to be, well, that buy where it matters. pasha on that AWP. Glass cannon he goes. 2 submachine guns we have ahead of each other. The MP9 and the UMP, let's see what they can do with this. And they converge into one unit here. Virtus.pro, can they converge in that one strong unit we have seen there back on train? Or will be now AVANGAR having the opportunity to take home that victory. MICHU, Flame not inflicting any damage right here. Whilst that is happening, MICHU finds himself KrizzeN. dimasick finds the refrag. Only one defender left alone on the side of A. Now rotating back onto highway while pasha with Neo holding back on the site of B. And whilst all of this happening, another player lost. The only A defender. Byali in the situation taken out in the end. It's only Neo and pasha. Try to rule this out. And whilst that is happening, the awareness of Buster and Co is on the maximum. Because there's no more space to give away. pasha taken out. A triple coming in. 12-11 it is. And take a look once more at the economic situation from Virtus.pro. It's looking far away from brilliant. qikert and Co right now have the opportunity to secure that number 13. Snax once more on the Zeus, which is a tool we can actually discuss on. He has a good positioning for it. He can use it. Even if he just does it for the lulz. Going aggressively. KrizzeN is aware, finds himself Snax. 3 more alive for Virtus.pro. The B side already taken by AVANGAR. 13-11. Pretty much engraved already on that scoreboard. As pasha inspects his default USPS, MICHU at least picks himself up that tiny Zeus. The range shouldn't be good enough. Maybe he can throw it on KrizzeN with a detonator, but it doesn't seem to work either way. KrizzeN finds himself MICHU as expected. pasha to be the only individual. Virtus.pro seeing AVANGAR just 3 rounds away from success. The guy was just a hero back on train, right now on the bottom with 6-17. here we go once more. It is going to be that losing bonus increasing and increasing and increasing. Virtus.pro, they'll buy as much as they can in this round number 25. Afterwards, they'll be pretty much broke. The losing bonus is decent, as mentioned. There's not much they can come up with regarding the weaponry and the utility. You gotta be forearmed, and you gotta be on the scene 100%, because otherwise Virtus.pro might just fall short in that round number 25. If we take a look at it, AVANGAR's economy is just brilliant. 12k, 10k. Even the guy who has the least amount of money there on AVANGAR is a rich lad here with 7.65. 100 more and he could buy my car. Or the way I bought it, the kind of amount I bought it. Very recommendable. But I will probably DM him with car recommendations later. Either way, AVANGAR, this is your chance. This is the point in time where the mainly Kazakh team needs to show us what they're made of. That they're not only onliners, that they're not just a bunch of young guys who have a bit of aim and great organizational support. They need to show us that they have the winning formula. That they're not disgruntled so easily, that they're on the right track to become a consistent top 30 team. And as Snax hears all the utility and the tiny gap in the smoke he might benefit from. The shots are coming in. Sick as well as KrizzeN. Himself a few bullets towards them. Suddenly, no chance versus 5 in the corner. Snax is taken out. Nuke can support. pasha's head is being ripped off. Too aggressive by the veteran right here. Jame's being found though. Neil can't connect onto any further. And MICHU and byali, as there is a byali taking his time, MICHU's coming in from behind. 3 individuals on low HP. And MICHU might be the hero here, but qikert first of all rips off the heads of the heroic 2. Only byali alive. Another Molotov to come in. He burns away 1. 75 HP in total onto the side of AVANGAR. And byali without a kit. As time running out. And as the time runs against him, as the time doesn't work with him, qikert might find him. There comes the wallbang. qikert doesn't get the shot, but unfortunately, it doesn't work out in the end for Virtus.pro. The 14-11 is there, and the Polish side only survive with byali. Virtus.pro investing all the dollars they have. The only option. And as we see, a single kit and not the most of utility to stop the players of AVANGAR. Already mid they have taken. That being the case, MICHU tries to deal as much damage as possible towards middle. He made that work with KrizzeN. 37 he has left onto himself, and now the AVANGAR site. This is not the kind of time where you want to become dilettante, too rushy, too aggressive. It's not an immense advantage AVANGAR has. So no time to play games. And as they have no time to play games, they're focusing here onto the A site. Snax somehow finds Buster there. With all that happening, rotation should come in. 3 players defending now the A site. As it is byali, MICHU, and pasha. As those 3 need to show us what they're actually made of, and that the Polish guys are good at defending the bomb site. The aggressors are just coming in a second. We're just waiting it out for the right timing. Double flash, triple flash that is now coming in. KrizzeN doesn't see a thing. byali has fully open eyes, and that just makes it hard now for only a Jame to survive. From behind, Neo comes. No chance on taking that A site. That didn't work out. Virtus.pro are not allowing AVANGAR to take the number 15. And that just means your economic buffer is still there. You're cool, AVANGAR. And MICHU, the rest of the team with that kind of buy they have, and with the AKs very useful rifles right now in hand, they might be able to stop AVANGAR. There's no other way they need to stop AVANGAR, because otherwise Virtus.pro out of this tournament as the first team. And as your reputation is already looking not so great, it's not really a title you want to claim for yourself. Flashman coming in the middle. MICHU might have the opportunity to take that ground. Makes it work onto dimasick. One individual out, a few more to go for. 60 more seconds. AVANGAR not leaning towards any site yet. Players, we're standing in front of B. Right now rather rotating over there on A, where KrizzeN, the first one to peek into main, will not find himself anything at the moment. Seems like Pasha's forearmed. He's aware of the situation. As now the steps are coming in. The tiny gap he's holding, not hitting the shot. qikert with the double onto byali as well as MICHU. Pasha is now the able to find it. qikert is on the triple, and that is the Kazakhstan player taking A control all by himself. He doesn't need teammates. Pure aim does it in the end. And that is now the information that a Snax is somewhere hiding behind the smoke. Neo back on truck, and that just now makes it also fairly hard. KrizzeN with the double, 15-12, and take a look at that economy from Virtus.pro. That's not really what you want to have back in your bank account when your opponent is hitting the number 15. UMP, FAMAS, and M4 only twice. That's not what you want to see. And with byali back up onto Shroud, I think Virtus.pro have not played that position yet, so they might catch them a little bit by surprise. As the open middle has been hurt, Pasha definitely is aware and giving that information away to the teammates. Buster might get in a tricky situation here. Two players together in the vent room. Buster, not to find himself more than that. Only the AK now being picked. Snax onto the double there with KrizzeN. The Molotov, that is not allowing him to go any further. The bomb's rotating over towards the A side, whilst we're seeing that vent room action from Snax is not going to be continued. Where to go right now with 40 seconds left? Take a look at it. qikert on his own towards the A site. 35 seconds he has left. The players try to make a bit more noise towards A. Throw a grenade or something. Then you will have all the attention you're looking for. There goes the Molotov. Instant movement. Then qikert is going on his own towards the A site. That's phenomenal. But the question is if that phenomenal kind of play also allowing them to get that round. The man who clutched it basically on his own and found himself 3 frags in the previous one now needs to show us what he's worth. Is qikert going to be the Kazakhstan hero or not? The bomb is not even planted in his favor, if I'm seeing that correctly. Here's the steps. Finds the first. Can he connect onto byali as well? He can connect onto byali as well! And there's only a MICHU to find, but during the jump, he's not able to do it. MICHU secures number 13 for Virtus.pro. It's not being stopped right here. But once more, it was qikert doing an insane job. But that insane job, it didn't work out in the end. The jump was the thing that got you killed here. 2 more rounds Virtus.pro. 4 players died. The investment needs to be massive. And qikert, the previous 2 maps, he didn't really deliver us what he's known for. But right now, we need to see how it will go. Our Virtus.pro able to secure the number 14 and secure the opportunity for the overtime, while qikert and co close the case 16-13. We had ourselves a 16-3 already on Mirage. We had ourselves a 16-3 already back on train. But right now, it's just more than exciting. We're on round number 29. We haven't gotten so far. We stopped at 19 previously. There in close range with the MP9. He might just do it right. dimasick dinked down to 23. Picks up that op. The classic botgen kind of thing. 45 seconds. The aggression towards the A side is determined. And as they hear it, as there is a Neo back into middle, they have that audio information, which means byali up onto Snax, might just rule it out on his own. Finds one, can't get onto the second. Now it gets a little bit rushy, and now it gets also a little bit hactical. pasha back on the side with one, can't find himself more than that. Buster is able to be the one to take out the legend, and now Neo as well. Snax. Correct myself, it's only Snax. And the man who usually bites in the Big Apple is going to be taken out. dimasick and AVANGAR are able to go into the final tomorrow.